All right, welcome back to Building Dad Bod 2.0. So I was asked today, someone asked me about cable towers, whether they're better to go with a functional trainer or cable towers. So I did a review on my brother's Inspire functional trainer. It's going out same time as this video. So I'm going to do a review on my Esport Fitness cable towers right now. So let's get to it. So the first thing is, what I absolutely love about these cable towers. You can see the dual pulleys. So they're really nice. The dual pulleys, if you want to do something like rear delts, you can do them with one machine. You want to do chest flies in theory, you can do one machine. The cables kind of wrap around you, but it still works. So if you're limited on space, you can get away with having one machine. Obviously I've got two. So with the two, obviously it's basically like having a functional trainer. You use independent pulleys. So two, you can create your own functional trainer. You got the independent pulleys. Do stuff like cable flies, super easy. Just using one cable on each machine. Things like rear delt, crossovers. Super easy, and I can set up if I want to do a circuit. I can set up, say, like tricep pull downs on one machine, bicep curls on the other machine. I can superset back and forth. Now, the thing that I really like about these dual pulley machines that you're not going to get on a lot of functional trainers is because there's the dual pulleys. When they're independent, they're 2-to-1. So you get the really long pull on them, but you're half the weight of the stack. It's come with a 210-pound stack. I'll show you that in a minute. But the great thing is on these, if I want to go 1-to-1, what I do is pull that off. You can buy these. I made my own, but you just lock the cables together. So I had it at 22 pounds. Now I'm at 44 pounds. 1-to-1. Put it up to the top. You can do your lat pull downs. Down at the bottom, you can do full 210-pound low rows. So it gives you the really gives the option of being able to do light accessories or heavier vertical, horizontal pulls. I can also set up with an incline bench and do presses. So because I've got two, if I want to do something like shoulder press, I could do 105 pounds per hand this way. Obviously I'm not doing that right now. Or I've got a straight bar, or if I wanted to, I can lock both cables together on both towers. And now I'm doing, went from 22 pounds per arm to 44 pounds per arm, so 88 pounds total. In reality, I could do 420 pounds this way if I had the strength to do it. Alright, so now as you can see here, we got aluminum pulleys all the way, every point on the machine. Super smooth. Has a nice commercial feel to it that way. Something that it doesn't have that the Bells of Steel machine has is it has doesn't have standardized holes in the uprights. And these uprights are not built to be used as a squat rack. They're built strictly to be used as a cable tower. So that's the cool thing about the Bells of Steel stuff, is that you can put spotter arms on it. You can put their seal row seat on it. You can put their lever arms on it. You got all sorts of options of attachments. So this one's more limited that way. I'm not too worried about that because I got a squat rack that I use for all that stuff. I don't know if you can see here. Let's see, where's the number? These are numbered, so right there is 15, but it's hard to see with the light reflecting off it. But there's a hole there, so that's on 10 right now. So you can kind of get an idea where you're at. Make sure if you got both pulleys are at the same height. If you like a certain height for certain exercises, you can kind of memorize where those are. They come with a foot plate for doing low rows. So I took mine and I put a couple blocks behind the one I like doing low rows on to space it out a little bit from the machine so I can get a bigger stretch when I'm doing rows. You can see here, these are the weight stacks. So I said they're 210 pounds. You can see there goes up to 198. And that is because the assembly here, that rod rides up and down with the stack. That weighs 12 pounds. So your total weight is 210 pounds when it's 1-to-1, 105 when it's 2-to-1. So it is a little confusing. If I'm going 1-to-1 when I'm on 22 pounds, I'm actually on 35 pounds. If I'm on 2-to-1 when I'm on 22 pounds, I'm actually on 17 pounds, if that makes sense, because everything's cut in half. And the cable stacks are in kilos. So the weights are a little funky, 44, 55, 66, and they go up by 5 kilo increments. So you're either going up 11 pounds when it's 1-to-1 or 5.5 pounds when it's 2-to-1. But that's the beauty of the 1-to-1, 2-to-1 is you can go up in smaller increments when you're doing accessories or when you're doing heavier stuff. You can make the bigger jumps. They do bolt to the wall. So if you get the Esport ones, they're not like the Bells of Steel. You can't make a modular rack that's freestanding. They bolt to the wall there. They bolt to the wall down below. And then they also bolt to the floor at the foot plate. They come with shrouds. You can see at the top there, at the bottom there. I've never bothered to put them on. I may put them on yet. They make them look a little fancier, I guess. Now, the one thing that I don't like, overall I love these machines, but the one thing I don't like, where they go up and down, they just slide on plastic inserts. So when I go to adjust these, if you just grab it from the front, they don't move very nice on the way up. They got a handle on the back. If you grab front and back at the same time, then they slide up and down super nicely. If you just grab the front and pull, it tips a little bit and pushes the bushing into the upright. But overall, you get it going the right way. They're super smooth. I do use these for pull downs quite often. I'll do single arm pull downs sitting on a bench, or if I'm doing both arms at the same time, I'll sit on the floor and kind of wedge my feet under the weight stack. I have ordered a seat that I'm going to modify to put on here with a leg hold down. So I'll put up a video once I get that going. That'll really make things a lot better. These cable towers are quite tall. As you can see, when I'm standing, I can just reach basically to the pulleys. So from a sitting position, I can get if I put the seat on, I can get a really nice stretch on pull downs. I'll just set up my bench here and show you quick sort of what that would look like. Okay, so obviously there's no knee hold down on here, but this would be about the height that I would set it when I get my seat and hold down assembly to do pull down. So you can see, once I'm seated, I can get a nice full stretch. The weight stack's hovering right now, and then pull down from there. So I think these are taller than the bells of steel stacks. Overall, I'm really happy with the Esport cable towers. They were a great purchase. They were a little bit difficult to put together. Probably took me 3 or 4 hours to get both of them assembled. My wife helped me out a little bit just because they're a bit awkward holding everything in place while you're bolting them up. Putting the weight stacks on was a bit of a pain, but overall wasn't bad. Yeah, 3 or 4 hours, got them together. Couldn't be happier with them, honestly. Like I said, I'm not worried about using them as a squat rack. They strictly work as independent towers or a functional trainer for me. I believe they cost me, so the Esport Fitness is only a couple hours away from me. So the machines plus delivery were $2,200 Canadian, which was substantially cheaper than I could get 2 bells of steel towers delivered from Calgary. At some point I would like to get to Calgary and check out their towers just to see what the differences are. I do believe they're not as tall as these, but I'd have to actually see and get some measurements. But in my opinion, if I had the choice between a straight up functional trainer or 2 cable towers, I would go this way every time. Like I say, the ability to go 1-to-1, 2-to-1, the ability to do low rows with a foot plate, and soon the ability to do pull downs. My brother's inspired functional trainer. It's got 150-pound stacks, but they're always 2-to-1. There's no way to lock them together because there's only 1 cable on each side. So I can low row the 75 pounds with 1 arm fairly easily, and it's not nearly enough weight for doing pull downs for me unless I'm working in like the 25 to 30 rep range. Whereas this 210 pounds is enough for me with both locked together for pull downs or for rows. If I want to go more challenging than that, I do weighted pull-ups. So I would recommend these. Like I said, I never got to try the bells of steel machines, but I think they would be very similar and quite good. I've heard good things about them. I started off with a plate-loaded functional trainer. Got a lot of years of use out of that. But now that I've got cable stacks, I would not go back. Way too convenient. Super easy to change. Doing drop sets, or if my daughters are in here working out with me, we can switch back and forth. Weights super easy. Sometimes we'll have me and my daughter working out, and we'll superset back and forth, so we can each just keep changing our weights back and forth. Yeah, works really well. Highly recommend. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.